Hey everyone, Barantos here. So I want to do a video today, and this video is going to be called Why Customer Service Matters. So, if you're like me, you spend your hard-earned money on products and you want to make sure that if anything happens to them, because something's always going to happen. You can't say that, even a Glock never has anything go wrong with it, or any of these Surefires or something like that. There's always going to be potentially a QA issue, regardless of if you're that, 0.01% that gets a QA item. So what I like to do is spend my money on companies where I know they're going to take care of me if I have any issues. And the first thing should be is I want a company that they don't typically have any issues with things. The second thing I want to do is find companies that take care of you when you do encounter an issue. So to walk through a few of my favorite companies here, we have Cloud Defensive here, and it's partly the reason I'm making this video because this was the most recent item. We have Shadow Systems here, and then here we have Alchemy Custom Weaponry. So I'm going to walk through a few stories with things and let you know how these companies took care of me in amazing manners. So none of them I recommend buying stuff from these companies no matter what. I'm not sponsored by any of them. They don't even know who I am probably, stuff like that. So yeah, first off, my Cloud Defensive light. So I made a video and sent it to Cloud Defensive where this, they said it was a bad switch, and so far that seems to be the case. But I bought their MCH, and when I turned on the bright, it would be bright for like maybe a second or two, and then it would dim or it would flicker or things like that. So I was on the road last week in Indy. I put in an email that said like, hey, here's the video. Here's what I had go wrong. Within like 6 hours, I had an email that said, send us your address. We're sending you a new switch. And by the time I got back from Indy this week, the switch was here, put it on, everything works great. No questions asked, no like, hey, did you drop it? No interrogation, no jumping through hoops, no paying for shipping, none of that. And that's how you can tell a company goes above and beyond, because some companies it's like, all right, we just want you to pay for shipping, or we would just want you to do this. And so it's like you're still getting punished a little for maybe something that was a true defect on their end. And these companies go even more above and beyond, where even if something was your fault, they're covering you. This could have been something where maybe, I mean, I'm not saying I did, but who knows what I could have done to this switch, how I could have beat it or anything. They didn't ask. They didn't care. They just said, we're going to take care of you. And they sent me a new switch, and it means a lot when companies take care of you. Moving on, Shadow Systems. So I bought... many of you know I've been a fan of Shadow Systems, not really originally for their customer service, but I heard it's a perk. And I had a barrel where it was, there's spots coming off of it, and it was just wearing way too quick. So I sent them pictures, told them how many rounds I had through the gun. They were at SHOT Show. It took one day, and they're like, hey, we're sending you a new barrel. Just let us know which one it is. So, I said it was the bronze one, non-threaded. Boom, sent to me. No questions asked other than that. No questions on like, hey, did you oil it? What ammo are you using? Did you do this? Did you do that? No questions. I just sent the barrel. And, it was just a wear item, there was a little extra wear on the other barrel where it shouldn't have been, a little bit different on the finish maybe or something like that. They didn't care. They just sent it to me. And with Shadow Systems, that's what I hear across the board. And then lastly, Alchemy Custom Weaponry. So if you've seen my other videos, I have an Alchemy Prime Elite. It's like my crowning jewel as far as my gun collection goes, because it's amazing. Everything about it is amazing. The attention to detail, yeah, and they're a great company too. I'll go into it, but if you haven't interacted with Alchemy Custom Weaponry, their media guys, their social media people, their customer service guys are like two of the best dudes in the business. So Nick and Duck, if you ever watch this, big shout out to you guys. I love your content, and you guys have taken care of me. I know Nick might have even taken care of me with some Type A stuff, who knows. But basically, they respond really quickly. They work with you. They give you options on things. Everything's been great. With Alchemy Custom Weaponry, my pistol was built a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I received contact pretty much the whole time with stuff. So what happened with Alchemy is I wanted 4 more mags. Well, this is the mag that came with it. I ordered 3 mags with it. I wanted more mags so that I wasn't spending range day loading mags when I could be shooting my Prime Elite that I absolutely love. So this was the mag that came with it. I really liked kind of the base pad. The bluing matched my firearm. So I ordered 4 mags off the website where it showed this picture, and these arrived. And I reached out to them, and within, I want to say like 2 hours, they said, "Our bad, keep those 4 mags. We're sending you 4 more. Here's your tracking number." So like the mags were like out the door. They didn't question. They didn't say like, "Hey, can you show us?" Or I'm sure those mags will work fine or anything like that. Nah, they just wrote it up as their mistake at the time, sent it out. With their products too, they guarantee things, they respond quickly. And, that's a trend that these companies have is, one, you're not waiting long. Like I used to play World of Warcraft or anything like that. You put in a customer service ticket with Blizzard right now, you're waiting 9, 10, 13, 15, 17 days. Who knows? Like I've seen it take a month for them to respond. All of these companies, within 24 hours, easy. There wasn't jumping through hoops. It wasn't asking like what I did wrong. There wasn't blame. There wasn't anything like that. They just took care of you. And so there's some good products out there that don't have great customer service. I'll name a few names. I haven't personally, but I've seen some stories about Les Bear on a few things. I've heard stories, on some of the higher end, a good example is Triarch. I was looking at buying a Triarch AR for a while, but, all you hear about is horror stories with some of that. If you've been on Reddit, you see these guys that have like 14 MOA groups and they waited 12 months for their rifle. So, and then Triarch or some of these other companies will be like, well, what'd you do wrong? Like, what are you doing this? And it's like, nah, just take care of me. So that's where it's important to you, I think, for you to do some research before you buy products. One, I want to make sure that you guys are buying quality products when you do buy them, unless you just really don't have the budget for it. The next thing is making sure that customer service is there. So I recommend, like Googling it, looking on Reddit, looking on Twitter, things like that. I know for the most part, the mistakes they've made are going to be the loudest. So, you want to take that into account, that like maybe not everyone is having an awful experience, but see if they respond to the people that, are being loud. If they respond and they say, send us a message, send us this, they're probably taking care of you. One of the things I've seen on Reddit too, like Silencer Shop, that those guys take care of people on Reddit. If you're having an issue with Silencer Shop, they're usually on there like saying, hey, hit us up. They've taken care of me before with something that I had a question on. So, I don't want to say that you have to buy from these companies. That's not my goal, because everyone has different tastes. But some companies are just too big to give you the customer service like this. So, you know, I'm not expecting that Glock would give me the same experience. Maybe they would. I wouldn't expect that SIG would give me the same experience, but maybe they would. But the smaller the organization is potentially, the more interaction or personal, you know, like personal interaction that you might have with someone. I've heard really good things about Atlas Gun Works and their customer service as well, which I would expect, you know, when you're spending money like you are with an ACW or things like that, you get taken care of pretty well. You know, the Triarch pistols, Salient, I haven't heard great things on. I don't even know if they're still around. But back in the day, Salient was one that you heard a lot of bad customer service about. So if you're out there and you like a product, Google what's wrong with it too. And or, you know, like issues with it as well. Do your due diligence. And when you come across, you know, companies like this, post it out there. Part of the reason I'm making this video is, one, so that these companies get the recognition they deserve, but two, so that other companies use this as a base model for their customer service as well. If I get this no questions asked, we'll take care of you approach with things that I buy, I'm a big fan of it. You know, Trijicon, I haven't broken anything, but I've seen people where like, hey, I dropped my ACOG and it's just been replaced. So sometimes when you pay a little more and you're like, I don't know if that product's worth it. But they take care of you on the warranty. I've heard good things about Holosun as well. Just do your due diligence. And I hope these companies can keep doing what they're doing, because they're doing a lot of things right. And I hope more companies behave like this. So, you know, look into things. That's all this video is really going into. Is I've had great experience with these companies. I looked into them before purchasing these items to make sure I would have good experience. And I've received the experience that pretty much everyone has said I would, where it's a good experience. So, yeah. Take care, everyone. If you have any questions, if you recommend any other companies, you have any stories like this, please feel free to share them in the comments.